Alright, so today I will be doing my presentation on Panera Bread, and I guess we'll get right into it. So starting with their situational analysis. So starting with their strengths, they have a healthy selection of food, so especially in this new day and age where we're a little bit more health conscious, having a healthy variety of food is a little bit better. Also, with that being said, they have breakfast through dinner. So if you wanted to get lunch, or if you wanted to get dinner, or if you wanted to get breakfast, you can get any one of those at any given time that you go there. You can get a bagel, or you can get soup, or you can get a sandwich. So anything that you want at any time of the day, as long as they're open, you can get pretty much anything from breakfast to brunch to lunch to dinner. They have great executive management, and I'll get into some of the changes that are happening soon, but their management has been absolutely wonderful. They almost always kill expectations, and their guidance is always good, and they just have simply been able to perform when they need to. They have charities like Panera Gives, Day and Dough donation. So they have these things where they will give to the needy or people who are hungry, and they promote a lot of things like this to get their public relations boost. So they have a lot of things like that that really give them a good public image. And also they have a robust app, and I'll get into that later too. Really, really good app. Some of their weaknesses, they are mainly viewed as a sit-down restaurant. And like I said, in today's age, you don't really have too many of those as far as a fast food place, if that's what you want to consider Panera. You mainly have either fast food and then you're just sit-down restaurants. And Panera is somewhere in between, and it's kind of in this awkward middle. And I view that as a weakness because really it's hard to gauge what it actually is. They're not open too many hours, so they're not like your Taco Bell or your McDonald's or any other fast food chain like that, to where you could just stumble in at midnight and you can get whatever you want. Panera doesn't work that way. They generally have a pretty limited hours that they are open and that you can order. And also there aren't that many cheap options. So you have to pay a high price generally for what you're getting. And I'll get into why that is in the end of the slide. But some of the opportunities, they could expand their delivery system. So as of right now, their delivery system is only for a select few locations. But as they move on and progress with Panera 2.0, which is what Ronald Shake has coined his progression into the new Panera, as he calls it, delivery is going to be something that's going to be huge for them. So if they could get that going, that'd be great. Open more drive-thru locations. I actually drove past a drive-thru Panera location that I didn't actually know about. So that could be another big opportunity for them to actually start opening more of those. And then they have passing of executive management. So Ronald Shake will be stepping down, and Blaine Hurst will be stepping in. Ronald will still be on the board, but he will not be the CEO anymore. And then the Jab buyout. Jab is a company that owns a lot of different coffee and bakery places, and Panera is going to be the next big step for them, and they're able to really perform, and they've had big success with every business that they've bought out. But going over to the threats, that could be also a bad thing, especially with the passing of executive power. You have all this shift and changes going on within the business, and Ronald Shake has been there for a very, very long time. So seeing someone leave the CEO position who's been there ever since it was not even Panera, since it was Bon Pain, is not necessarily the best move, but it could end up being a great move. But going over to the threats now, fast food chains threaten them. Like I said, they're not open all hours of the days like places like Taco Bell, but even places like Chipotle, which are healthier options, although they don't offer a similar product, they still offer a healthy option that could still be a substitute. So people could maybe go towards more Chipotle route and substitute what Panera has to offer. Local bakeries, so your Mary Ann's, your Krispy Kremes, places like that, which are taking away Panera's profit off of their breakfast menu. You have cafes like Starbucks and Zoop, which would be taking away Panera's market saturation as far as coffee and as far as like their lunch items and dinner items. And then, like I said, the passing of executive management and the Jab buyout. Just depending on how it plays out, it could be very bad. So getting a little bit more into their situational analysis, like I said, Ronald Shake will be stepping down. He's been there as a CEO since August 2013, but he's been a part of Panera ever since the beginning. So he was one of the co-founders, and he'll be stepping down in January. And like I said, Blaine Hurst will be taking over as a CEO. The JAB buyout will already has happened for $7.5 billion. And something that I think that Panera could really start implementing, which I'll get into later, is adopting something like McDonald's. McDonald's has been doing great the last couple of years, even though they have the stigma of being the unhealthy option for all fast food places. They still are able to kill it every single quarter, and they've been doing great. So adopting a model kind of like McDonald's, which I'll get into later, could really be a big sales booster for Panera. And competitors just simply aren't able to keep up, and that's a huge strength. Places like Zoop, I would never consider because I don't really ever see one. I don't ever think about it when I'm thinking of going somewhere for lunch. And I really don't even know if they have an app. And Panera is able to do that for me because I have the app. I use it actually quite often. So Panera is a little bit ahead of the game as far as that. And Ronald Shake is partially to blame or partially to give credit to because he is the one who has gotten Panera 2.0 off the ground and flying. And like I said, their app is absolutely incredible. You can order online, pick up something, or have it delivered depending on the location. But it is a great app, and it is able to collect data. And with that being said, they use it as a customer-oriented research tool. So they'll collect data of why, how, when, how much the customer ordered, when they ordered off their app, and even in-store purchases, they do that too if you are a recurring customer. So they have a very good data system for an industry that usually doesn't take too much advantage of that. Panera also upped their budget for their marketing by $10 million, upping it up to $100 million, and it's actually proven to be very beneficial for them. They're using a marketing agency called Maxis, and they switched a couple years ago from someone else. Panera is positioned in mainly urban and suburban areas. So their target market is more based, like I was saying, for the upper and middle class and everything in between. So they're placed in good position. Their product positioning is very good. Almost all of their current efforts are spearheaded by Shake. So once this new move to Blaine Hurst happens, we'll see what happens. And they should continue to use Shake as a resource because, like I said, he's been the one that's gotten their delivery system, their online ordering, and their drive-thrus really going. And if they continue at this rate, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. So their communication objectives, they sometimes send out email surveys. I know I am one of those people because I use their app quite often. App data collection, so they're able to collect data off of their app if you order. So if you order online, like I do, then they'll be able to collect that data. You have in-store purchases, which also are just data collectors, and they're an objective and task marketing method. So they have a pulsating schedule. They focus a lot on what they want to do. So their pulsating schedule for this next period is going to be starting January 9th, and they're moving from food as it should be, which you might have seen commercials for, to 100% clean, which is their objective to show that not only is it food as it should be, but is 100% quality and 100% pure. So that is a little bit, to me, it strikes as effective marketing because they're trying to elicit emotion by promoting our healthy side. Everyone wants to be healthy and fit. So Panera is endorsing that, and they're helping us realize that, hey, we're here for you. We have 100% clean food just for you. And they really are task-oriented, and like I said, this is all Shake's work at the moment, and he's really gung-ho and set on making sure that things like this happen so that the customer actually understands what Panera is all about. And like I said, the target market is healthy eaters and upper middle class. So the promotional plan for public relations, they need to increase their social media presence. Their social media presence is pretty weak. Unlike places like Wendy's, which are very, very good at their promotions on social media. It's free buzz marketing, so why not? Like the picture I have on my PowerPoint, they do a very, very good job at at getting some buzz marketing as far as their social media. So I think that Panera should adopt a model kind of like Wendy's, have jokes and get people interacting. Their advertising, go on a continuous schedule. I think that would actually do a lot of good for Panera. And really start promoting their delivery systems, really start promoting their drive-thrus, and make people aware of that, because I don't think they actually are aware of that. We have a lot of the effective phase where people prefer and like the product, but I think Panera has skipped the cognitive phase to some parts of their business. Lots of people don't really know that you can order online, even though it still is a good app, and I view it as one of the better fast food chain apps. Lots of people just simply do not know. For their sales promotion side, in-app deals like McDonald's app is absolutely, it's the best in the industry. So you're able to get deals on their app, and every week or every 2 weeks or a month, they'll send you a notification that says, hey, you can get 2 free sandwiches. Why can't Panera do that? There's no reason. So if they start implementing something like that, that'd be awesome. App surveys, they already kind of do this with email, but putting it within the app would be a little bit more intuitive. And then personal selling, create a way like McDonald's, some newer locations are starting to put screens in their locations to just tap on screens, and then you can order, and then a cashier will come up and hand you your food. Super easy, gets rid of a lot of labor, and that would cut a lot of cost for Panera. So how much is this going to cost, and how are we going to measure this success? Well, it's going to be fairly the same as last year, 2016, when they raised their budget up by $10 million. Only this time, it might be a little bit more expensive because we'll be starting to go on a continuous schedule, which would be a little bit more expensive, obviously, because you're going throughout the year and you have a steady cash flow rather than just setting your money on one point in time or one season. So how are we going to measure this? Earnings per share. So in their last quarter, when they started boosting up their marketing to food as it should be, their EPS, or their earnings per share, actually went up 8%, which is pretty dang good for any company like this that's already pretty established. The revenue generation, their total revenue rose 3% when they did this, but their net income went down 1%. That's because they were spending a little bit more on marketing, but that still is a good sign. It shows that this business can actually still keep on expanding. See if there are any new clientele, so any new clients. The mobile app use, there definitely could be a lot more people using this app. So the more people that use this app, the better, because I really think that is the future of places like Panera, places like McDonald's, places like Wendy's. In-app purchases are going to be the way of the future, and Panera's already kind of ahead of the game, but the more that they can get ahead, the better. Total interaction on social media platforms, Wendy's is killing it. Wendy's is killing it this way, and if Panera can kill it this way, I really don't see too much standing in the way of Panera. If they can start getting this buzz marketing aspect, I think they'll do really good for themselves. It's a really good opportunity for them. Panera is set up for a very good position, and this is what I think would be the ways that they're going to measure success. So, thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed, and see you in the next one.